วัสดีค่ะ
Sawasdee Krub. Welcome to NBT World's The Fireside, where every week we have a fireside chat exploring what's going on in Thailand, diving deep into our latest obsessions. I'm Benjamin 𝑺𝑷𝑳𝑨𝑯𝑯.
And I am Wannakan Wantawim ค่ะ Today I'm filling in for พี่ออม สุภธิดา จันมูล who is currently away on assignment covering the Thailand Showcase 2025 in London.
That's going to be so great.
Yes.
And thank you so much for joining us
Of course.
to AIM. So this episode is sort of a lead up to Splash Soft Power Forum, which is just around the corner.
Yes.
So here we want to talk about the concept of soft power, some great examples from other countries of successful soft power,
Yes.
and how Thailand is building the foundations over the past decades, actually, towards becoming a successful hub of creativity and soft power.
Yes. So we've heard this term soft power a lot in Thailand, and it's become something of a buzzword. But some people really don't understand what truly is. So can you tell me and tell the audience what exactly is soft power?
I honestly think that sometimes, like, even we communicators, like facing the public, we get it a little bit confused too, because we use it in the context of creative economies and cultural exports, but soft power is actually really broad.
Yes.
Essentially, soft power is the ability of a country to influence others without using force or
Yes.
coercion. And this is in contrast to hard power, right, which involves military or economic pressure. So instead of making others do what you want, soft power is about making them want what you want.
About making them want what you want.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, it's giving. So, and since I'm Gen Z kids, so could you please explain to me more? Because are you saying that Thailand is trying to rizz the country into being nice to us?
That's exactly right, Gen Z representative.
Yes.
We're trying to use our aura to rizz other countries.
Yes.
I hope I got that right, Gen Z. You can tell me in the comments section below. So the term soft power was actually coined all the way back in the 90s by an American political scientist, Professor Joseph S. Nye Jr. And he introduced the concept in his 1990s book, Bound to Lead, The Changing Nature of American Power. And that was later expanded in his subsequent book, Soft Power, The Means to Success in World Politics. Now, according to him, he says that this second aspect of power, which occurs when one country gets other countries to want what it wants, might be called co-optive or soft power, in contrast with hard or command power.
Yes.
Of ordering others to do what it wants. So it's definitely not a new concept, actually.
Yeah. And it seems like different idea catch on among Thai policymakers as well. For a time, Thailand talked about fourth industrial revolution or Thailand 4.0. And that was mostly about focusing on new high-tech, high-growth industry like big data, Internet of Things, and robotics. And then we pioneered the concept of the bio-circular green model. Okay, you guys may familiar with this word already, or the BCG economy. This was about leveraging renewable biological resources, transforming industry from linear to circular economic models for sustainable consumption, and managing the environmental impact of our economic activity to be green or eco-friendly.
I think you definitely still see these terms floating around in the policymaking sphere because these things are still important. They just have different emphases, you know, in recent years. When we talk about Thailand 4.0, that's still relevant to us today because we still want to use innovation and technology to improve and add value to our industries. And with the BCG economy, this is sort of a transition away from unsustainable linear economies where you're always extracting resources and then turning them into products and then just throwing those products away.
Yes.
So this is a move to be more sustainable and more innovative. But now we're also using soft power to be more creative, right?
Yes.
So since soft power was coined in the 90s, people have been trying to figure out different ways to measure it. And this is where it becomes interesting, all the different ways that a country can improve its soft power. Brand Finance's Global Soft Power Index. They have 3 key indicators, and those are familiarity, reputation, and influence. So that is all about how well a nation is known, how positively that nation is regarded, and how much a nation is perceived to influence other nations. And in addition to the 3 key pillars, or rather the 3 key indicators, there's 8 pillars.
Yes.
So this goes far beyond our concept of creative and cultural exports. This includes business and trade, international relations, education and science, culture and heritage, governance, media and communications, sustainable future, how it's contributing to a more sustainable future and the sustainable development goals. And then finally, people and values.
Yeah. So it's a lot more broad than we think it is, right? And speaking of this year reports, it also contains a few different success stories to show how countries can improve the soft power. And for the first time, China rose to second place on the index, beating out the United Kingdom. I'm so sorry about it. There was due to strategic efforts, including Belt and Road projects, more on sustainability, stronger domestic brands, and post-pandemic reopening to visitors. So with 68 brands in the Brand Finance Global 500 and a total brand value of $1.4 trillion, Chinese companies like TikTok, Huawei, and BYD are redefining global media and tech landscapes. China also has a power strategy outlined in its 14 five-year plans, which emphasizes cultural influence and national branding. Well, I think it's people and values and culture and heritage rankings are rising fast, closing the gap with long-term leaders like the UK.
Yeah, I can't believe the land of Harry Potter and Marks and Spencer is losing to China.
No.
But I honestly think that Chinese brands, they are becoming more trusted.
Yes.
I think historically, the Made in China, brand wasn't that well regarded, but that's definitely changing now. I think I see a BYD, every 5th car is a BYD in Thailand.
Yes,
right?
yeah. And I think like Chinese trends are super booming right now. Like, okay, it could be fashion, electronics, even food spot are popping everywhere in Thailand, as you can see. What do you feel about a Chinese brand?
I honestly think that Chinese brands, they are gaining more recognition and reliability. I think that there is a whole spectrum, of course. Not every producer is the same. We have the super really cheap in kind of fast fashion, which is not great. But then we also have a lot of other manufacturers that are claiming, this is not proven one way or the other, but they're claiming that they'll make 90% or 99% of a product. And then when that product leaves the country, another country will just stamp their logo or their brand on the product so that they can say, oh, it's made in X, it's made in Y. So this is very controversial. So I wouldn't, I would take that with a grain of salt. This is not official communication or anything. This is just like TikTok, reels that are acting like an expose onto the topic. But I honestly think that Chinese manufacturing has become more sophisticated and better quality control as well. So China was not the only success story in the report even. So the index described El Salvador as having a meteoric rise, jumping 35 spots in the global rankings to 82nd place. So it's not as high as Thailand, but 35 positions is an incredible increase. And they did this by transforming from being one of the world's most violent nations into one that's seen as safe and economically stable, right? So under President Nayib Bukele's leadership, the country reduced crime through its territorial control plan, improving perceptions of governance and safety. It also, super unrelated, but it had a bold, controversial move to accept Bitcoin as legal tender. So that is attracting foreign investment in tourism, and it's transforming its image as a more innovative country as well. So this shows how it's not just about the domestic brands, but also about important reforms that are transforming the way the reality of living in that country as well.
Yeah. So the entire brand of the country, it's more than just consumer brands from the country. And it also depends on how people see in terms of safety, and whether it's a good place to visit, to live, or to work.
Yeah.
And finally, there is one country which it seems as a model for culture-driven national branding. Okay, I will let you guess. What would be that country?
For me, it would be Japan, because I'm such a Japan fanboy.
Oh.
But
So you're kind of like manga, anime.
oh, actually, yeah.
Yes.
Actually, to be honest,
Okay.
100%.
Okay, here comes the answer. This year, South Korea climbed to 12th in global soft power ranking by blending cutting-edge innovation with global cultural appeal. The worldwide success of K-pop, as we can see, K-dramas and cinema boost its reputations in arts and entertainment. Meanwhile, attributes like advanced technology and scientific excellence elevated its status in other sectors. While despite domestic political challenges, South Korea's resilient democratic institutions have helped preserve its credibility. Yes.
Yeah, there was a little bit of that a few months ago, but now that's all past them. They have a new leader.
Yes.
But yes, I have to admit, even though I'm a Japan fanboy, most of Thailand is crazy about K-pop,
Yes,
K-dramas.
absolutely.
Right. There was also we have a lot of Thai pop stars that are in K-pop groups, right?
Yes. The very famous one.
You wanna do it?
Yeah. Blackpink, Lisa.
Yeah.
And then we have Baby Monster, Shikita, and Parida. Yeah. I think they're very famous. And I think Thailand is so crazy about K-pop and K-dramas. So what do you imagine when you think of South Korea?
I mostly think about the skincare.
Oh, yeah. This is your secret sauce of being like this kind of baby face.
Yeah. I wish. You know what though? I do use I wish I didn't bring this up.
Okay.
But I use snail mucin.
Oh.
You know the
yes.
snail thing?
Yes,
Yeah.
the snail thing.
Yeah, and that's the secret to looking young is the suffering of snails.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
What about you? What's the secret to your skincare?
My secret, my skincare.
Yeah.
I put a lot of moisturizer.
Okay.
Yeah. Drink a lot of water.
Right.
8 hours sleep. That is my secret.
Right. That's not what you said off the air, though. So anyways, some people might think that, okay, South Korea just has talent.
Yes.
It's a workaholic culture. So they have the drive, they have the dedication to become a soft power hub. But actually, it's a little bit more than that. So in the case of South Korea, they also have an institution supporting all of their soft power efforts. There's the Korea Creative Content Agency, or KOKA. Now, KOKA was established in 2009 under South Korea's Ministry of Culture, Sports, and Tourism. This agency plays a really important role in South Korea's Hallyu, or Korean Wave, success by supporting the export and global promotion of Korean creative content. So there are a few different activities that they, support. They provide funding and incubator programs for startups that are in entertainment and media. They also organize global content expos, such as the K Content Expo, which is actually happening in Thailand soon as well. And the Korean Culture Weeks abroad, to share Korean culture. Then we have training programs and the infrastructure, such as content creator schools and production studios, to support the development of creative content. And finally, we have market research and international matchmaking to help Korean content reach wider audiences and appeal to broader audiences as well. So through these activities, KOKA supports Korean games, broadcast media, animation, comics, story and character IPs, music, fashion, and new technologies as well, such as AR and VR, or augmented reality and virtual reality.
That's right. And some of the biggest hits of South Korea, like Squid Game and Extraordinary Attorney Woo, have benefiting from KOKA support as well. So have you watched these two?
I just know of Squid Game, which is how powerful it is. Like even though I've never watched it, I know all about it. I know
from the like chart.
yeah,
clip?
just like just from clips. Like I just know it's a deadly game, and it's kind of like a capitalist like satire.
You should go watch it.
Yeah.
The final season is coming. Yeah, I watch it. I really like it.
Oh,
It's giving really thrill sense. Like, okay, who's gonna die? Who's gonna be the bad guy? Is it gonna be a good guy or not?
Right.
Something like that. Yeah.
So you really root for them.
Yes. And of course, now you can see the similarity between KOKA and TAKA. But TAKA didn't appear out of thin air. It's actually the latest evolutions of Thailand's infrastructure of cultural soft power. Well, back in 2004, Thailand's founded the Thailand Creative and Design Center, or TCDC. It began as a physical center operating out of a grand postal building in Charoenkrung district. Its mission was to promote design thinking, innovation, and creative learning. So have you been to TCDC in Charoenkrung before?
I actually have, and it's pretty cool, actually. Yeah. I'm really surprised how they took like the Grand Postal Building. It's like a really historic building, and it's huge and it's grandiose, and it has a lot of interesting architecture. And then there's the TCDC attached to it, which is super modern, actually. And it has a really modern kind of facilities. So it's very interesting to see that contrast.
Yes, and currently there are several branches of the TCDC, including one in Chiang Mai and Khon Kaen. So these centers give Thai creative access to global designs archives, co-working spaces, workshops, and trend resort sets.
But now fast forward to 2018, and we have the Creative Economy Agency, or the CEA. Now, more than just providing creative resources and creative knowledge, the CEA supports the development of creative cities. Now, we've talked about this in some previous episodes, but just to recap, one of its major initiatives was the Thailand Creative District Network, or TCDN. Now, essentially, a creative district is where all the elements of a creative economy have come together. That includes the people, the place, and the assets. So creative talent, creative environments, and also cultural assets that make a place unique, right? So they can create a unique creative economy that can't be found anywhere else using their own cultural assets. So the logic behind all of this was to empower local communities in order to create their own creative districts. And then when you have enough creative districts, then you can build and establish a creative city. Yes. Now, Thailand so far has successfully listed 7 creative cities in the UNESCO Creative Cities Network, and that's Phuket, Chiang Mai, Bangkok, Sukhothai, Phetchaburi, Chiang Rai, and Suphanburi. So the CEA is, in addition to creative city and creative district development, they also organize a lot of creative festivals. Yes. So it really is all about creative economy, which is not quite the same thing as soft power. Soft power is your relationship with other countries, and how you can attract and influence other countries. Whereas the creative economy is how you can add value and and create certain products and exports and services, right? So the creative festivals that the CEA is responsible for is the Bangkok Design Week, Chiang Mai Design Week, the Isan Creative Festival, and there's also Pak Thai Design Week as well.
Yes. Now, have you been to Bangkok Design Week before?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, tell me about
it. It's pretty incredible, like, because you can see that there are a lot of different districts within Bangkok.
Yes.
There's
so many locations.
Yeah, exactly. There's Hua Lamphong, which is known as historically the railway district, because of the railway terminal there. And so there's a lot of different craftsmen there. And so they've used the festival as a way to revitalize some of those businesses and bring new attention to those craftsmen as well. Then we have places like Ari, which is kind of, in my opinion, it's a really hippy-dippy kind of pro-organic, kind of community and pro-wellness community.
Yes.
So they all have different identities, and you can see these districts come alive and come together as different communities.
Yes.
So yeah, have you ever been to any of these?
Absolutely. I attend two Spy Roads installations. I think it's probably near Jalern Wattana warehouse. So
Right.
it's kind of the exhibitions that will get back to the sense of spice. Yeah. I'm really into any kind of like perfume and those kind of spice.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. So it comes to anything related to scents. It can give you the feelings. Scents can give you the feelings of something. Yeah. For example, it can refer to something or some people. So yeah, I'm really into this stuff. And I think
Right.
it's really creative. Yeah.
Is there a specific person you're trying to refer
No.
to?
I cannot say it on camera. I'm sorry.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And now we have TAKA, which operates under the National Soft Power Strategy Committee. While the CEA had formalized 9 creative fields, TAKA will fund and support up to 14 soft power pillars, including festival, tourism, literature, games, and sports. So one of its flagship program is One Family, One Soft Power, or OFOS initiative, which aims to reskill and upskill 20 million Thai people in the creative professions by 2027. So OFOS provides courses like film production budgeting, Muay Thai refereeing, and Thai culinary arts. So would you want to become a Muay Thai referee?
I think that would be fun for like a day, but then
Yes.
after a while, I would feel a little too responsible for the health of the two fighters.
Yeah.
Especially because sometimes you have to like catch them as they fall so they don't knock their head on the mat.
Yes.
So I think I'm more of a chef. I think I would rather be in the kitchen.
So you do the cook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to be to learn Thai recipes and stuff.
Okay.
I think, the way to a person's heart is their stomach. So
Okay.
get people to fall in love with my cooking.
Nice. Okay. And well, TAKA has also partnered with Malco Resorts and Entertainment to offer internships with world-class mentors in culinary arts, design, architecture, performing arts, branding, and product development as well. By building a creative workforce and supporting creative opportunities, TAKA aims to generate up to 4 trillion baht per year in creative industry revenue. Yes.
That's incredible. 4 trillion. These are really ambitious goals, I think.
Yes.
And I think you have to aim big. Otherwise, if you kind of like hedge your bets, then I feel like if you don't like, how do you put this in English? Like if you don't tumte, if you don't put all of your effort.
Dedication.
Yeah. If you don't dedicate your effort behind something, then it has a greater chance of failure.
Yes.
So I love that they're setting these really ambitious goals. 20 million people, 4 trillion baht. So these are really ambitious initiatives, and you can see how Thailand has grown from just the TCDCs, the centers for knowledge, into cities of creativity, into a whole nation of soft power.
Yes.
Right. So looking ahead, TAKA is also holding the annual Soft Power Splash Soft Power Forum, and this is considered the largest soft power event in ASEAN. Now, the 4-day forum is being held from July 8th to 11th at Queen Sirikit National Convention Center, and there's going to be 6 highlights. I'm going to need your help to explain these highlights.
Yes,
so
sure.
the first one is Visionary Stage, and this is a global forum of thought leadership. So it features world-class thinkers, policymakers, and cultural pioneers that are exchanging ideas on how Thailand can leverage its soft power and thrive in the international markets. Now we have Creative Culture Village. So that is a dynamic showcase of Thailand's 14 soft power industries. And I think that's going to be the most exciting part, in my opinion. The 14 soft power industries will demonstrate how local creativity is being developed for a global impact. And Taka Pavilion is a knowledge hub where visitors can explore the national soft power strategies, the policy frameworks, and the tools for entering the global creative economy. So very interested to see how policymakers are strategizing soft power.
Yes. And then we also have global networking, a curated matchmaker space for investment, partnerships, and collaborative opportunities, bridging local creators with global investors and stakeholders. And we also have workshop basket class, which I think is really interesting for you, of course, and interactive learning sessions and skill building programs for both emerging professionals and youth, focus on storytelling, marketing, and experience design. And the last one, last but not least, Experiential Zone, a multi-sensory exhibition featuring immersive creative technologies and mindful media installations designed to reimage Thai identity through meditations and emotion-driven content.
I think that Experiential Zone is very interesting because it's so specific to Thailand, the sort of mindful meditation aspect of our culture. So which one would you be the most excited for?
I think I'm going to go with global networking because I like to talk to people.
You're a people person.
Yeah, I'm a people person.
Social butterfly.
And socialize. I think when you talk to people, you can get some perspective, first-hand experience rather than any in-book theory.
True.
When you talk to people, you can get to know them more and you can know their experience. So I think if you can truly understand, you can build on something upon that. Yeah.
I definitely remember conversations more than books. And now we turn it over to our audience. Have you thought about pursuing a creative profession? Are you looking forward to checking out Splash 2025?
Let us know in the comment sections of NBT World's online channels. You can find us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Spotify.
Thank you, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.